Chapter number 7, Structural Organization in Animals. In the preceding chapters, you came across a large variety of organisms, both unicellular and multicellular, of the animal kingdom. In unicellular organisms, all functions like digestion, respiration, and reproduction are performed by a single cell. In the complex body of multicellular animals, the same basic functions are carried out by different groups of cells in a well organized manner. The body of a simple organism like Hydra is made up of different types of cells, and the number of cells in each type can be in thousands. The human body is composed of billions of cells to perform various functions. How do these cells in body work together? In multicellular animals, a group of similar cells along with intercellular substances perform a specific function. Such an organization is called tissue. You may be surprised to know that all the complex animal consist of only four basic types of tissues. These tissues are organized in specific proportion and pattern to form an organ like stomach, lung, heart, and kidney. When two or more organs perform a common function by the physical or chemical interaction, they, they together form organ system, example digestive system, respiratory system, etc. Cells, tissues, organs, and organ system split up the work in a way that exhibit division of labor and contribute to the survival of the body as whole. 7.1 Animal tissues. The structure of the cells vary according to their function. Therefore, the tissues are different and are broadly classified into four types. First, epithelial, second, connective, third, muscular, fourth, neural. 7.1.1 Epithelial tissue. We commonly refer to a epithelial tissue as epithelium. This tissue has free surface which faces either a body fluid or the outside environment and thus provides a covering or a lining for some part of the body. The cells are compactly packed with little intercellular matrix. There are two types of epithelial tissues, namely simple epithelium and compound epithelium. Simple epithelium is composed of a single layer of cells and functions as lining for body cavities, ducts, and tubes. The compound epithelium consists of two or more layers of cells and have protective function as it does in our skin. On the basis of structural modification of the cells, simple epithelium is further divided into three types. These are first squamous, second cuboidal, third columnar. The squamous epithelium is made up of single thin layer of flattened cells with irregular boundaries. They are found in the walls of blood vessels and air sacs of lungs and are involved in functioning like forming a diffusion boundary. The cuboidal epithelium is composed of a single layer of cube-like cells. This is commonly found in ducts of glands and tubular parts of nephrons, in kidneys, and its main functions are secretion and absorption. The epithelium of proximal convolutive tubule (PCT) of nephron in the kidney has microvilli. The columnar epithelium is composed of a single layer of tall and cylindrical cell. Their nuclei are located at the base. Free surface may have microvilli. They are found in the lining of stomach and intestine and can help in secretion and absorption. If the columnar or cuboidal cell bear cilia on their free surface, they are called ciliated epithelium. Their function is to move particles or mucus in specific direction over the epithelium. They are mainly present in the inner surface of the hollow organs like bronchioles and fallopian tubes. Some of the columnar or cuboidal cells get specialized for secretions and are called glandular epithelium. They are mainly of two types: unicellular consisting of isolated glandular cell, goblet cells of alimentary canal, and multicellular consisting of cluster of cell, salivary gland. On the basis of the mode of pouring of these secretions, glands are divided into two categories, namely exocrine and endocrine glands. Exocrine gland secretes mucus, saliva, airwax, oil, milk, digestive enzyme, and other cell products. These products are released through ducts or tubes. In contrast, endocrine glands do not have ducts. The product called hormones are secreted directly into fluid bathing the gland. Compound epithelium is made up of more than one layer, multi-layered of cells, and thus have limited role in secretion and absorption. The main function is to provide protection against chemical and mechanical stress. They cover the dry surface of the skin, the moist surface of the buccal cavity and pharynx in a lining of ducts of salivary glands and of pancreatic ducts. All cells in epithelium are held together with little intercellular material in nearly all animal tissues. Specialized junctions provide both structural and functional links between its individual cell. Three types of cell junctions are found in epithelium and other tissues. These are called as tight, adhering, and gap junctions. Tight junctions help to stop substances from leaking across a tissue. Adhering junctions perform cementing to keep neighboring cells together. Gap junctions facilitate the cells to communicate with each other by connecting the cytoplasm of adjoining cell for rapid transfer of ions, small molecules, and sometimes big molecules. 7.1.2 Connective tissue. Connective tissues are most abundant and widely distributed in the body of complex animals. They are namely they are named connective tissues because of their special functions of linking and supporting other tissues, organs of body. They range from soft connective tissues to specialized types which include cartilage, bone, adipose, and blood. In all connective tissues except blood, the cells secrete fibers of structural proteins called collagen or elastin. The fibers provide strength, elasticity, and flexibility to the tissue. These cells also secrete modified polysaccharides which accumulate between the cells and fibers and act as matrix ground substance. Connective tissues are classified into three types. First, loose connective tissue. Second is dense connective tissue. Third is specialized connective tissue. Loose connective tissues has cells and fibers loosely arranged in a semi-fluid ground substance, for example, areolar tissue present beneath the skin. Often it serves as a support framework for epithelium. It contains fibroblast cells that produce and secrete fibers, macrophages and mast cells. Adipose tissue is another type of loose connective tissues located mainly beneath the skin. The cells of these tissues are specialized to store fats. The excess of nutrients, which are not used immediately, are converted into fats and are stored in this tissue. Fibers and fibroblasts are compactly packed in the dense connective tissues. Orientations of fibers show a regular or irregular patterns and are called dense regular, and dense irregular tissues. In the dense regular connective tissues, the collagen fibers are present in rows between many parallel bundles of fibers. Tendons which attach skeletal tissue, muscles to bones, and ligaments which attach one bone to another are example of this tissue. Dense irregular connective tissues have fibroblasts and many fibers, mostly collagen, then are oriented differently. This tissue is present in the skin. Cartilage, bone, and blood are various types of specialized connective tissues. The intercellular material of cartilage is solid and pliable and resists compression. Cells of this tissue, chondrocytes, are enclosed in small cavities within the matrix secreted by them. Most of the cartilages in vertebrate embryos are replaced by bones in adults. Cartilage is present in tip of nose, outer ear joints, between adjacent bones of vertebral column, limbs and hands in adults. Bone have hard and non-pliable ground substance, rich in calcium salt and collagen fiber, which give bone its strength. It is the main issue that provides structural frame to the body. Bones support and protect softer tissues and organs. The bone cell osteocytes are present in the spaces called lacunae. Limb bones, such as the long bones of leg, serve weight-bearing functions. They also interact with skeletal muscles attached to them to bring out movements. The bone marrow in some bones in the site of production of blood cells. Blood is a fluid connective tissue containing plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. It is the main circulating fluid that helps in the transport of various substances. You will learn more about this in chapter 17 and 18. Muscle tissues. Each muscle is made up of many long cylindrical fibers arranged in parallel arrays. These fibers are composed of numerous fine fibers called micromyofibrils. Muscle fiber contract, shorten in response to stimulation, then relax, lengthen, and return to their uncontracted stage in coordinated fashion. The action moves the body to adjust to changes in the environment and to maintain the positions of the various parts of the body. In general, muscle play an active role in all movements of the body. Muscles are of three types: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Skeletal muscles tissue is closely attached to skeletal bones. In the typical muscles such as biceps, striped skeletal muscle fibers are bundled together in a parallel fashion. A sheath of tough connective tissue encloses several bundles of muscle fiber. The smooth muscle fibers taper at both ends fusiform and do not show striation. Cell junction hold them together and they are bundled together in connective tissue sheath. The wall of internal organs such as the blood vessels, stomach and intestine contain this type of muscle tissue. Smooth muscles are involuntary as their functioning cannot be directly controlled. We usually are not being able to make it contract merely by thinking about it as we can do with skeletal muscles. Cardiac muscle tissue is a contractile tissue present only in the heart. Cell junction fuse the plasma membrane of the cardiac muscle cell and make them stick together. Communication junctions intercalated disc at some function point allow the cells to contract as a unit. That is, when one cell receives a signal to contract, its neighbors are also stimulated to contract. 7.1.4 Neural tissue. Neural tissue exerts the greatest control over the body's responsiveness to changes condition. Neurons, the unit of neural system, are excitable cell. The neurotelial cell, which constitute the rest of the neural system, protect and support neurons. Neuroglia made up of more than one half the volume of neural tissue in our body. When neuron is suitably stimulated, an electrical disturbance is generated with swift travel along the plasma membrane. Arrival of the disturbance at the neuron endings or output zone trigger events that may cause overstimulation or inhibition of adjacent neuron and other cells.